for Books. My name is Kim. Today I'm bringing you a review of the book Slayer by Kiersten White. Now, if you are familiar with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this is taking from that. It's part of that world. They are picking up with this story after Buffy had defeated the First and kind of the falling out from that. If you were familiar with the series, it's been a while since it's been on television. To defeat the First, Buffy had, what was her name? The redhead, the witch in the group. I can't remember her name, and I am an avid Buffy fan, and I am drawing a blank on that. But anyways, had her do a spell that pretty much took away the premises of there only being one Slayer per generation, and because of that spell and them defeating the First, it shut down all magic and shut down all of the hellmouths that all the demons were coming into our world from. But in doing that, a lot of people ended up dying. The council, the Watchers Council, if you guys remember, that had been obliterated pretty much due to the First and all of his minions. Took out most, if not all, we thought pretty much majority of the council members and the Watchers. So this takes up from that part of the story and tells it from the Watchers' point of view. So that's kind of the background information that goes into this book. So her main characters are two twin girls. One is Artemis, one is Athena. Athena is the main source that we follow, or main point of view that we follow. In the book, she's also referred to as Nina as a nickname. And she has been trained, she's kind of been the one kind of pushed to the side and not able to train, not able to even attempt to become a full Watcher. She's just kind of been shunted to the side where her twin has been given, or the allowance of, trying to train to become a Watcher and all of those things. She pretty much protects her twin, Nina. So there's a lot of tension there, a lot of resentment. Nina pretty much resents Buffy throughout the entire thing because her father, at the very beginning of the series, of the Buffy the Vampire series, was her original Watcher when she became activated as the Slayer, and he ended up dying in that position, which Nina resents her for. And so there's a lot of going through that. The book mentions and touches on a lot of the characters from the Buffy series, mentions a lot of the people, Wyndham Price, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that eventually went to the Angel series spinoff. A lot of the other characters were also mentioned throughout, woven through. It was really well done. I think I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, if I'm not mistaken. It did take some getting used to because it's going in not the way I was thinking of, and a lot of events, and I'm trying not to do a spoiler through it. One of the characters gets activated, and there's a lot of tension around that and things of that nature. So there's also, of course, if you're familiar with Buffy, there is a prophecy. Let's see if I can locate it in the book, and that's what this entire book is about this prophecy. So this is the prophecy that is the back story of this whole thing. Child of Slayer, child of Watcher, the two become one, the one becomes two. Girls of fire, protector and hunter, one to mend the world and one to tear it asunder. So that is the prophecy behind it. There are some background players in play. You don't know who they are until the very, very end, and I'm not going to spoil that. You are constantly trying to figure out who this other entity is that is in the background, that is after one of the girls. I'm not going to tell you which one of those girls it is, because that is part of the mystery to be solved. Alright, so yeah, trying to resolve this prophecy. Which one is going to be the savior? Which one is going to be the one that tears the whole world apart? Some other characters is Leo Silvera and his mother Eve, who is a council member. and Artemis and Athena's mother is also on the council. Jameson Smith, I believe, is the last name, and I could not go back and find. They just reference her as mother a lot of the times throughout. Then you have Rhys and his boyfriend Cillian. They are based in Ireland, so pardon me if I missay his name. Then you have Imogen and Honora. These are also sub-characters or supporting characters that play quite a bit of important roles throughout the entire book. Not what I was expecting, so that is why I gave it a 4 out of 5. But it was a good spin-off. It just took some getting used to being on the watcher's side of things and watching her actually grow up through this book, where at the very beginning she was very childish in the way she was thinking about things, her beliefs, her injured feelings, and all of those hard emotions that she was working her way through. So definitely a YA book. I would definitely say that. Young adult for sure. Very much worth a read if you're into vampires, and if you love the Buffy the Vampire series, then I would suggest this book to you. There is another book coming out. This is book 1, so I'm not sure if she's going to make a complete series or if it's going to be a duology, but this is book 1. Book 2 I think comes out January 7th, and I did enjoy this enough. I want to pick up the second book that continues on in their story. Alright, so that is the basis of it. Again, there are a few demons. There is a demon underworld that is harnessing the demons and their powers. That is kind of a subplot through it, trying to solve that mystery as well as who's involved, why, and those things. It is definitely a more character-driven versus plot-driven. It's kind of almost, I would say, a pretty good balance of both. You do get attached to the characters and you are rooting for them to solve it. It is a little bit of a tearjerker at the end, or at least hits the emotions towards that. I'm not a huge crier, so I did feel the twinges, but I did not actually cry. The way that they ended, the way that the author ended the story. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review of Slayer. I am definitely going to be picking up the second book in January, and until my next video, I hope you have a good one. Bye!